Good day, IOA. This is Ellen Miller, and I'm the IOA's new Executive Director.
Good day, IOA. I'm Ronnie Thomson, and I am your new presiding officer for your board of directors. And I want to thank Melanie Jogno for starting this idea of Good Day, IOA. I don't remember when it was. It seems like in the pandemic, but Ellen, she gave us a gift because now we have a format to do this, to actually, visit with our membership. So excited. Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you, Melanie. And we just thought with this new leadership between Ronnie and Ellen that we would do a Good Day IOA and just give you a little sense of what's on our minds. So with that, why don't we just kick off the conversation? And Ronnie, why don't you share, what was it about the president role that excited you, and tell us why you were willing to step up?
Okay, I love that question. And I do think that that's a good way to phrase it, willing to step up. So yeah, I did something that I thought was funny. Now, hopefully, not everybody may think it's funny, but I realized that I'm not really good at giving a speech. So good luck, membership, when I have to do that. But what I can do is I can do things like I came up with the top 10 reasons that Ronnie is the best option for president of the IOA. And number 10. So if you're ready, I'll do this for you,
please.
Ellen, because you're hearing it for a second time. But passion for our profession, IOA, and specifically the Great Transition. Number 9, only leads meetings with clear agendas and purpose. Lots of people know that. Number 8, influencing skills to engage others when help is needed. And number 7, capacity to track both the big picture and the small details. Number 6, openness to call herself out when she makes a mistake. Number 5, forgiveness of others when they make mistakes. Number 4, ability to laugh at herself. Number 3, knows she doesn't know. That's so true. And number 10, the mentoring committee will finally get a new chair. And the last reason to have Ronnie as your IOA president is because I was the only candidate. So yeah, that sums it up.
That's terrific. I love that. Such a great, fun way to describe. That's awesome.
So Ellen, you had to make a decision to apply for the position of executive director for the International Ombuds Association. What prompted you to do that?
I did. Oh my gosh, so many reasons. But when I saw the posting that happened by happenstance, I have a funny history with positions appearing from out of nowhere that I should apply for. But when I saw it, I thought, oh, this is really interesting. And as I looked more with the position description and the strategic direction that the group has developed, and the website and all the work that you've done, I'm at the stage of my career where I want to have impact. And what you do all day long is important. It's important to people, and it's important to organizations. And recognizing what you were looking for is someone who could help with that impact and help spread the word with that about impact and about the important work of ombuds and why organizations need to develop programs. That was really compelling to me. So, and now that I've been here a little over 2 months, I realize it's just the perfect fit. It brings together for me a whole lot of different pieces of my past, and I'm excited to bring it to IOA.
We're so happy you're here. We need you because you're right. We as ombuds in the work we do make an important impact in our organizations. And yet we seem to be a little secret that many don't know about. And so we definitely need your help. So we're happy to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's terrific. So let's continue. There's so much to be excited about this upcoming year. So tell us about what you're most excited about for IOA.
So I kind of mentioned the Great Transition, and I hope that the membership, understands what that means. We went through so many improvements with the last board, and a lot of folks gave an incredible amount of hours and time and talent, and the results of the updated standards of practice, code of ethics, the updated bylaws, so much came together. And with that, the Great Transition is referencing a significant change in the board makeup. We now have 9 new directors, and we have a board of 15. So there are two of us, Lee Twyman and myself, have been on the board for the longest. And I think that she and I both have a strong commitment to really forming this board as effective and as solid and productive as what we had prior. You know, teams don't just come together and magically everything works. It takes intentionality.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm most excited about this year is being intentional to develop a board. The other is, you know, with that comes new energy, new insights, new leaders. And then the other thing that I think will be really exciting for this year is new volunteers. So, you know, I'm going to put that plug in for the volunteer committee. If you haven't found your spot in IOA yet, please find a spot. I'm going to tell you that that's where in committee work, in task force work, that's where those relationships are really formed. And we consistently support one another. That word "ombuddy," you know, you probably already heard it. It's true. We are a network of support, openness, sharing, really helpful to each other. And I encourage everyone to become an IOA volunteer. It is exceptionally rewarding and so much support.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, a hidden secret about me is I present as an extrovert and I have the energy of an extrovert, but I'm really an introvert. And so I love to do committee work because I think it's a nice, safe way to be able to meet people and get involved and have a nice, safe topic, and you're networking at the same time, but you're working together on a shared vision and a shared project. And I really like that approach. So I'm glad you raised that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I know what you mean about all this, the great transition and all the energy that it means. You know, when you look back at all the great work IOA's done in the last few years, you know, I'm really excited about where we're positioned. You know, we've just revised the standards of practice, the new code of ethics. There's so much fantastic work being done in the DEIB space, and that was a huge piece that was attractive to me about IOA, is that we're looking at those issues head on, and we're figuring out and rolling up our sleeves to figure out how best to address those issues. But I'm really excited about where we are, you know, with ombuds and the rollout of programs. I mean, we're in this great growth stage. And I think I heard yesterday that 250 jobs were open last year in a pandemic year, which is amazing. And that was up 25% from the prior year. So when you think of us as not that the opportunities that creates not just for members, but the opportunity that creates for the IOA to help new organizations set up offices, write charters, develop policy, train ombuds, and address all of the important aspects of setting up and teeing up an office and really launching a new ombuds in that role. You know, we're really positioned to do great work in that space.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. We, you know, that growth I see, you know, we're over 1,000 members right now, and that growth includes all kinds of ombuds, right? So what a wonderful opportunity. We want to invite everyone. We want to be the premier ombuds association. Now, we have lots of friends in other kinds of ombuds associations who we partner with, and I'm so grateful. You know, the one that comes to mind, obviously, for me is COFO, because I'm also work for a national laboratory. But we offer different things, and we're organized differently, and so we can complement. So Ellen, have you thought about how do we do that? How do we you know, be the most effective, the premier organization, and also support ombuds everywhere? The second part of that question is, or maybe a comment, we still struggle with the I in IOA. And I think that we might have representation from something like 30 countries, but I'm going to add that to it. You know, what do you see as far as how do we do this well? We've grown a lot. We're doing great, but the now what?
Yeah, no, that's a really great question. And you know, we've had a lot of growth, and we focused, you know, again, creating these standards and revising the standards is really important. So now we can pause and kind of reflect, okay, where are we going? and how do we balance all of the interests and needs of our audience, right? I mean, we have all of our international community, and we want to make the big I in IOA, not the little I. So we want to focus on that, and we want to learn more about what are the needs and what are the differences. That's the great opportunity to understand, if we have international partners and members who can't practice to standards, then let's talk about that. Let's talk that through about what are the issues regionally and culturally that impact your ability. So, that's an illuminating conversation that we need to have as an organization. We have a huge growth of aspiring ombuds and of newer practicing ombuds. I don't want to say, brand new, but, within the first 6 or 7 years of practice is a huge percentage of our membership in our community now, given the growth of master's programs in conflict resolution and how exciting, we're trying to make this a less of a great kept secret, right? So people want to get into this work. And then at the same time, we want to balance and respect the seasoned ombuds who have paved the way and been doing a lot of the thought leadership and practice leadership in this space. And so we have a lot of interest that we're trying to balance, and a lot of generative conversations we need to have, because, while we're growing, we're still a small organization, and we need to figure out how to prioritize that. We've got great direction through our strategic direction and great goals to implement. And, we're going to come up with ideas and issues that not all of them will be able to be addressed within the confines of this plan, or maybe even the next plan. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about it and get it and chart all of those interests and goals that we're trying to work through, and put them in the parking lot if we need to, and address how we weave them in and prioritize, because that's part of it. And we just need to keep having that conversation with, at the board level and at the membership level, because these are big changes that are happening in the profession.